Hi, welcome to the junk filter tutorial. Let's get right into it. First thing first, we'll go over weapons and reactors and components. The items can be included into the junk filter or excluded from the junk filter. You should understand it in this way that the included items will be dismantled and the excluded items will remain untouched. So here you have excluding filters. Each of those is an exclude junk filter, which means that you here define which items will be excluded and these items will remain untouched. So let's test it. Here I've got a level 1 peacemaker, which is an ultimate weapon, some 95 rares and 100 level rare. So if I want to keep my level 100 one and basically dismantle the rest, like only have the level 100s, I will need to exclude level 100 and higher rare weapons. Here I will set it to rare or higher, and the level 100, this also works in a way that it excludes this and higher. So like if you set it to 95, it will exclude 95 level and higher weapons. But I want a 100 rare or higher weapons to be excluded. So I want to leave the tamer out of getting junked. So I want those to be included and I want this one to be excluded. So here this works. The weapons will also be included if I set it like this, like normal, air or higher. So this is like an AND gate in a logic operators or whatever if you know programming. So for it to be excluded, which means to be untouched, it needs to be a normal or higher rarity and a level 100 or higher. So well, it doesn't work because the weapons are in fact standard, normal or higher, but they are level 95, which doesn't make this meet this condition. So if I want to leave them in, I can say leave the ones which are 95 and higher and normal or higher. And now, if I use the filter, they are excluded, so they remain untouched. So this works like and this and this, this and this. This is rarity or higher and this is level something or higher. When we read what's here, ultimate weapons are not filtered as junk and must be designated manually, which means they will always be excluded. No matter what you set in the filter, right, they will always remain untouched. You can see it even with the peacemaker here, you know, technically it doesn't meet this condition, but still it doesn't get flagged, you know, and it's not favorited, of course. Basically, this option is kind of useless, I'd say. It's weird, I don't know, it just doesn't even matter if you use it. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's how it works. My recommendations, what I use pretty much, I only use, you know, ultimate weapons right now in the late game, so I have it set to ultimate or higher and level 100, so basically every weapon gets dismantled. Every other than an ultimate weapon basically is getting dismantled because I don't even use them. I have a vestigial organ, but it's like, it is a rare weapon, but I have it favorited, so you know, I just favorite things which I don't want to be dismantled. I favorite those weapons, alright. Okay, so all of those reactor filters work as two entities, kind of. So this, and whole of this is one, and then there is this one. So first thing that gets applied is those three, and this is like an AND gate from logic operators. So the reactor has to meet this and this and this condition to get excluded, and then this filter marks the ones that are enhanced and excludes them or doesn't do anything. Alright, so those two work like before. This will select ultimate or higher and level 95 or higher reactors and exclude them and leave them in your inventory. But if you select use in here, it will also add a third end condition, which will be this. And now it will, for example, exclude those items if one of those statistics that I set here that I desire will be in the reactor. So now let's say I desire a certain statistic here, and I desire, for example, 1 when I select this. I desire that my reactors, I want to have at least one statistic rare or higher, because I selected all of them, so I want any statistic that should be rare or higher. And it will pretty much select to exclude all the reactors that don't have 2 statistics at normal, which means blue. It will dismantle every reactor that is blue, basically what I have set up here. And then if I select this one, this will make it kind of different. It will exclude the items if they have 2 of the statistics that I desire. So now that I desire every statistics to be rare or higher, it will dismantle every reactor with blue stats both, and it will also dismantle all reactors with 1 blue and 1 purple statistic. And it will leave the ones with 2 purple, purple, yellow, and both yellow. Now you can also set some statistics here. For example, if you desire some certain ones, you are target farming for some god rolls, you can, for example, set that you only want this and this, for example, like here. For example, for some reason, those are the god roll that you want. You don't want any other, so you select this, and now you will only get left with reactors that have this and this ultimate or higher, so both yellow, this and this. Every other reactor will get dismantled, which will be like most of them, like 99%, because this is like a god roll, very heavy to get. But now, for example, if I select this, I will get reactors with at least one of those statistics, and then the rest is like doesn't matter. Like, it can be whatever. So I will get reactors with yellow skill cost and whatever else, or I will get reactors with skill cooldown yellow and then whatever, the rest doesn't matter, because I only selected this one, that I only want one of those statistics. So if you are target farming, you should be using this one. Alright, now let me demonstrate how this filter works. So here I have got a set of some special conditions. The reactors only, should be excluded if 2 are included of those conditions. So everything is set to be ultimate or higher, which will pretty much include all of my reactors. And then I set this one to be normal, this to be rare, and this to be also rare. Basically, this shows that this one has dimension and crit rate, which I excluded here, okay, here and here. And this one only has fusion and toxic, which I also excluded right here. And basically, now, this should make it that this one gets excluded, and this one will get, I want to get excluded, but it will get included because it doesn't meet this condition, alright? So, this one is ultimate and higher, it has a level 100 and higher, and it has those skills at rare and higher both. Some of those, those two. This one, for example, has dimension and skill crit rate here. It meets this condition. It meets this condition. It is ultimate or higher, but it doesn't meet this condition, which it is below level 100. So this one should get included, this one should get excluded. And that's what happens exactly. Now, for me to test it, if I want to leave it, now it will meet the third condition. And it meets the third condition now. It is excluded as well. This one got excluded because this filter applies as the last, okay? This one applies at the last, it excludes the ones that are enhanced, and this one is enhanced, but it would otherwise get trashed because it doesn't meet the other conditions. It doesn't meet this condition right here. So technically it should get trashed if I do this. And it gets trashed because it has some tech skill and sub attack, which I have to set. I have set to ultimate and higher. Okay, so how I run those filters in my recommendations. Basically, I have this set to ultimate or higher and level 100. I don't want anything lower when I'm just, running around and getting some random reactors. And then I am using this one so that I don't get any of those stats that I don't want. This critical hit rate, the HP, sub attack, all those modifiers. I don't really want them. I don't think they are useful. You could generally run better ones. You could set all of those to ultimate, but I lowered it because I wasn't getting really many of those reactors. And I want to, for example, now farm this. And this one is for his descendants that want those ones and don't really use the strength of the skill power of the reactors. So for example, for Enzo, when he uses his duration and cooldown, I want those two for my fourth ability build, that I get more ammo and I get it faster. So I want those two. I don't even care about, this damage and so on and so on. But also I want those two, basically for non-crit descendants Descendants. For example, let's say, I don't know, electric tech is the best for example, Ines, and I mean, okay, she's tech crit, so that's a bad example, but any other, like, I don't know, Freyna, for example, that isn't crit, it's just for contagion, she gets toxic and I think tech she should have on the reactor for most damage, so I have those set to like farm different reactors just to have them, you know, for future, and that's basically how I got my, you know, god rules, just by running around and not even farming for them. I only farmed once and I got it quite fast, but other than that I just set everything like this, or I set it before like this, so I was getting like the god rolls, the greatest ones, but now I'm kind of wanting a bit lower because of those, but I might even set it to ultimate. It's like, you know, depends on how much you actually have reactors. I think I will actually do it right now. I will set it all like this, but then I will set this ones like here because I was getting quite unlucky with getting those two. I recently only got a cooldown and duration reactor. And of course, if you are target farming for like one specific, you know, a reactor, you just set, you know, those to ultimate and this to ultimate, and then you just set everything else to dismantle, and then you select this one, exclude if two or more are included. That's it if you are target farming, but other than that I'm running pretty much this. And with those settings I will get a ton of useless reactors, like, you know, completely fucking useless, and I will just then go through the ones that I get and manually, you know, disassemble most of them, but I will, you know, look through them, like, and then select the ones that I like from the ones that I got. It's always, you know, like that, or you will always have to kind of manually go through those reactors. Now this is a quite a broad condition, let's say, or well, with this set to ultimate it's not so broad, but if you set it to rare it's quite more broad. So the external component filter basically works the same. You can just go back to the video to see this, how I explained the reactor filter. It is the same. How I run it is, I will show you now on the screen actually a Reddit post that I found with all those different ones, because you cannot get actually all the stats on all those reactors. Like, for example, this has a set of rolling, I think, 7 substats, this has different substats, this has different, and this has different. For example, here you can only on the processors you can, for example, get toxin resistance. You can get toxin resistance on any other ones. You can get, for example, some other resistance. For example, on the auxiliary you can get fire resistances, but you cannot get them on any other. Like, you know, here you can get the resistances for all of them on each one has its own, and I will display those stats on the screen right now. So I am running this. I might also change it to be ultimate or higher, and like this, but I am quite hesitant. I think I will set it to ultimate or higher actually, because I want only the best of the best, and that's it. And I will set this one to exclude. Of course, this works like the last one. It excludes the set ones. Here are the 3 set ones. They don't meet the condition. Only this one meets the other conditions, but they don't. But they get excluded at the end with this filter. And well, that's how I roll. And if you are target farming for the certain reactor, you can pause the video and look at which component can get which rows, and then select those rows and select, for example, this, you know, select if 2 or more are included. So you can look at the components, look at which components can kurwa. So if you will be target farming for some kind of component, you can look at the ones at the screen that I'm showing right now and look at which component can roll which substat, and for example set 8 substats. Like, kind of, if you are farming for certain components, you will select 8 substats to be like ultimate or higher, and then select exclude if 2 or more included while using this filter, and you will get only certain 4 types of components. So for example, let's say that I want a max HP and fire resistance auxiliary. I cannot roll this kind of things on any other, so I will select here max HP, and I will select fire resistance. It will be here, and then I will set everything else to be dismantled, which is on the auxiliary. So I will set the MP recovery out of combat, module drop rate, increase modifier, Kuiper shard drop rate, and DBNO duration to be dismantled, like this, you know, like dismantled. And that would be me farming for a certain auxiliary, like target farming an auxiliary external component. Okay, fuck, I'm tired. I hope it makes sense. I really do hope it makes sense. I'm sorry if it's confusing. I tried my best to like put it in some terms. You can now see me, you know. I'm gonna span a little. I'm going to show off my fucking weapons. I'm farming everything. Clairvoyance, I have 5, you know. I will do this afterglow. Now I'm doing the afterglow, you know. I am completionist. I am maxing out all the ultimate weapons that I can because I farmed for them. We can do, you know, fucking typical TFD lobby after this update. I will do it as a thumbnail or some shit. Let's have some fun after this hard video. This, and this, and that's all, I think. Clairvoyance 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alrighty, let's go. Something fun, something fun. It gives less chill resistance, and action speed. Hitting enemy station inflicts void gate. Cool, might be cool for like even the erosions. Hitting enemy inflicts, or actually it might not be because they already have a low resistance. That's not great, maybe. Oh, the effect is going to be this action speed reduction. Action reduction, oh yeah. Let's do this. And bam, I've got a level 5 unique ability level 4. Hell yeah. Goodbye guys. Oh wow, another thumbnail right here. Oh, this is the previous thumbnail. Also, maybe this will be a thumbnail. Dudes are having fun. Most probably it's like 2 dudes jerking off. Yeah, maybe this will be the thumbnail. I like what I did with my Haley skin. What the fuck was that like? Yeah, this is cool. It's like a radio kind of soldier with a hood. Alright, see ya. Hope you had fun and learned something good and useful. Bye bye.